Welcome. We like to call this meeting to order. At this time, if you would please stand, and I'm going to call Jordan Guy from the gathering to come up and lead us in our invocation. Yes, sir.
Everybody remove your head coverings. It's just a joke. All right, let's pray. Lord God, we just thank you for today. God, I thank you that we were able to make it through the storm yesterday with seemingly no major damage. And God, I just pray for this meeting, this time that we get together and talk about concerns of our town. And God, I just pray that they can all just be things that will be honoring and glorifying to you, and that we can seek your will instead of selfish ambition, and that it'll just be all out of love and a desire to follow and glorify you. And we love you in Jesus' name, amen.
If you would please remain standing, and Mr. Justin Hawley from Surf City Elementary School will lead us in our pledge. Austin. I'm sorry, Justin. It's Austin Hawley.
That's his nickname.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Austin. At this time, sorry, there's no one here from Parks, from Beautification. So we got a recognition for Beautification and Enhancement Committee Awards for the Business of the Month and the Home of the Month, and the liaison for that committee is Jeremy Shugarts, and he will be handing out those awards.
Thank you very much. I don't know if, is anybody here from 406 North Topsail Drive? Very good. If you guys can come on up here real quick. You guys were awarded Home of the Month today. This for the month from the Beautification Enhancement Committee. I don't know if you know Ms. Terry Kucha. She runs around the city and looks for homes that are, on her bicycle, or on her car. And she does an amazing job, and she said you guys, and then the committee votes on it. So we just want to say congratulations. I'm going to bring it down to you real quick. So, here you go. If you guys can give them a hand, please, it'd be great. And we do a Business of the Month. We originally started doing Business of the Month, which was a Business of the Month that was beautified. And then they changed the criteria to Business of the Month. You can do extra things, help the community, serve, however. So we have a business called Business of the Month called Checkered Periwinkle. Are they here? If you guys can come on up, please, real quick. No idea what Checkered Periwinkle does.
Oh, come on.
But if you guys would turn around and tell us what Checkered Periwinkle does real quick, could you tell us that real quick?
Well, what it is the name of a seashell. And we opened a year ago in February, and we're just thrilled to be a part of the community and so honored to have this.
Very good.
We're a home decor store with full services of home interior design. And we have a unique blend of vintage and new. And so if you come in, you'll have a unique experience, kind of like our name. So that's what we're all about. Very
good. Well, on behalf of the mayor, the council, and the City Enhancement Committee, thank you for being a part of our community. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, moving along, we have the adoption of the agenda. I need a motion to adopt the agenda. However, we need to amend the agenda and add a resolution that will, the resolution is basically opposing the rate increase by the North Carolina Rate Bureau's application for an increase in homeowners insurance rates. So I need a motion with that amendment in it.
Madam Mayor, I would make a motion to do just that.
Do I have a second?
I have a second for that, please.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we have the approval of the consent agenda. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries the approval of the consent agenda. Next item is public comments, and I will call on our town clerk, Ms. Carla Citarelli, for the comment list.
We have Ms. Patty Gilbride.
Hey, everybody. Patty Gilbride, 8013 8th Street. Most of you that know me know that probably my two big buzzwords are animals and environment. That's always a good way to get my personal attention. My late husband probably would have called me a right-wing tree hugger, more than likely. But I think the town does a terrific job with waste management. We've come such a long way in the last 8-9 years that I've been here with the 2 pickups on the island in the summer and our recycling and, the extra resources we have for the pills at the police department and the flags at the community center. I had a suggestion of adding something else on. I don't know how feasible it is, but batteries. Batteries have become such an issue. Most of us remember when we used to use nothing but alkaline batteries, AA's, AAA's, C's, and D's. We threw them in the garbage, and that was the end of it. And then we bought new ones, and we put them in our flashlights and whatever. And of course, now I myself use mostly the rechargeable ones, but they even eventually run their course and they don't charge anymore. And now, like everything in my house, from my vacuum cleaner to my drill to my toothbrush, is rechargeable and has a battery. And since most of the stuff that we're buying is made from countries that don't have the greatest lasting factor, cheap crap, it's disposable. It doesn't last forever, so there's just no place to get rid of these things. I'm sure there's probably resources with the county, but I just think it might be a neat town service. Apparently there's all kinds of requirements, like lithium batteries need to have the ends taped, and but that's for greater minds than mine to figure out how to do it. I'm just thinking having a disposable site, and maybe even if it was like we do the shredding events like twice a year, because I save my batteries, and I have a friend who has at his business, he can bring them in and get rid of them. If I didn't have him, I don't know what I'd do with them, but I just keep piling them up, and I'm like, here, Jim, take these to work with you. But maybe even if it was like a shred event where somebody could come in and people could just save a box of all their batteries to find a environmentally friendly way to eliminate them. So thanks for your time.
Mr. Martin?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. First of all, my main thing tonight is to apologize to the council, the present and the past, for when I get up and leave. It's nothing against you guys. It's just that this old man can't hear. I got 20% hearing, even though I got hearing aids, and I will probably leave again tonight after I get through here. And it's nothing against you guys, because what I do is I go home and get on my iPad and find out what you guys said. So my apologies for getting up. I know it's rude. My mother would probably slap me because I get up and leave in the middle, because I was taught better. But when wasting your time and mine, I just wanted to apologize for that. I did have something else to say, but I've already talked to Chris and the mayor. So thanks again, and welcome aboard to the new council people, and best of luck for the year. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay. Next, we'll move to our public hearing, and I'll call on the town manager, Kyle Brewer, to present the item for the no wake zone resolution.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and good evening, council and members of the public. This is a formal request to extend an already existing no wake zone and what most people would recall a previous no-wake zone when the swing bridge was in place. The town is looking to try and be proactive with this. There has been efforts in the recent history in dealing with the Army Corps of Engineers through the Intercoastal Waterway and then North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission. So we've been able to get both of those agencies on board, and they have finally recommended the process which has been laid out in order to try and petition Wildlife Resources Commission for the expansion of the no-wake zone, which would encompass areas on the map that are within your packet. Generally, these areas include an expansion of no-wake zone within the boat basin where the public boat ramp is located, also the extension through Topsail Creek, and then the intercoastal side, on the western side of the intercoastal, heading towards the one-stop bait shop, and then up into the Sears Landing area. The Army Corps of Engineers has jurisdiction over the intercoastal waterway. However, if Wildlife Resources Commission were to consider this, then the Army Corps of Engineers would be second in which we would discuss. Part of that process statutorily requires a public hearing to be held here, and that's what we need to do, is to receive any public comments that we may have. When I first started with the town, I do recall meeting with some residents that lived on the Sears Landing side, and they expressed their concerns mainly due to the swing bridge being removed and the high-rise bridge being there and having really an unobstructed pathway for boats to speed through there, and then also the convergence of non-motorized vessels such as stand-up paddleboards or kayaks, et cetera, as we see an increase of use of those. So, Mayor, you're obligated to open a public hearing and listen to any public comment that may be brought forward. And then at the conclusion of this, if council is so inclined to adopt a resolution, we will then bundle that up and send that over to the state. So that's a general synopsis. I'm happy to try to answer any questions.
At this time, I need a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Public hearing is open. Is there anyone today that would like to come up and speak concerning the no-wake zone? Please come up and state your name and your address.
My name is Susan Gray. I live at 702 Roland Avenue. I'm right at the corner where the swing bridge used to be, right there on the road of Sears Landing. So I'm right up against the intercoastal. I've been speaking with Kyle for probably 5 years now, it seems, just mostly because of the safety for the paddleboarders, the kayakers, the jet skiers, the public that swims in the intercoastal where the campground is. There's a lot of recreational activity there, and the boats that fly through with the non-existent of the swing bridge is crazy. I mean, I see it daily, and I'm just fearful that it's going to take an accident or something for us to do something. There's 4 motorboats that fly through there consistently, and there's not that much space between where my house is and the campground is. So those boats flying through there, and that's a prime fishing area for those of you that may not know. So I'm in favor of it on behalf of us at the Harbor Point community, those houses in Sears Landing. We're all in favor of it. I have spoken to the campground owner years ago. He's in favor of it. But it's truly a safety concern now that the swing bridge is gone. Because everybody had to slow down when the swing bridge was there. Now there's nothing. So I would appreciate consideration for the no-wake signs being posted there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak concerning the no-wake zone? Anyone else that would like to speak concerning the no-wake zone? Seeing that no one is coming forward, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Public hearing is closed. At this time, so we have a purpose to move forward to have a no-wake zone resolution. All those in favor of moving forward with some type of approval for a no-wake zone? That Kyle?
Mayor, if we could have a motion to adopt that resolution.
I'll make a motion to adopt that resolution.
I second, yeah.
Thank you.
All those in favor of adopting the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries to adopt the resolution for the no-wake zone. Our next item is also a public hearing. And I'm going to call on Amy Kimes, our town planner, to come up and present. And this is on the rezoning for Evolve Apartments.
Good evening. So tonight we're going to discuss a conditional rezoning request. The owner is MPW Surf City 17 LLC. The agents here tonight are Brad Schuler with Paramount Engineering and Mr. Sam Frank with Warden Smith. They would both like to give a presentation after mine tonight. Tonight's request is to rezone a 30.45 acre tract from C3 to conditional district zoning. This property is located approximately 700 feet north of the US 17 NC210 intersection with approximately 845 linear feet of road frontage on US 17. The surrounding town of Surf City zoning consists of C3 zoning, the US 17 NC210 and NC210 NC50 intersections on the mainland are commercial nodes within the town limits. Our most intensive commercial is allowed in this zoning. As we leave these nodes or corridors, the zoning transitions from commercial to more dense multifamily and then to single family. An example of this can be found along Austin Boulevard. The frontage along NC210 supports commercial, which transitions into apartments and then into single family homes. The adjacent Pender County zoning consists of planned development zoning, with conservation being across US 17. The planned development zoning allows for mixed-use development that promotes quality urban design and environmentally sensitive development. The proposed site plan will divide the property into a residential and a commercial area. The proposed commercial area of the development is located closer to the US 17 NC210 intersection, which is that commercial node we recently talked about. The remaining 27.05 acres would support 11 multifamily residential units for a total of 264 dwelling units. The building will be set back from the road and buffered by the entrance and the property between the project and US 17, so you can see how it kind of wraps around behind that other property. The submitted site plan requests a height of 55 feet. This would require a special use permit. However, staff and the applicant have agreed that the site would not exceed the town's 48 feet height limit. The applicant proposes 2 access points on US 17 and 1 on NC210 through an easement. The NCDOT will determine the type of access each of these have, so whether that's a full movement or a limited access driveway as they access onto NCDOT routes. The project does not meet the NCDOT requirements for a TIA. However, the applicant is requesting a median break, and a median break does require a traffic impact analysis, so one will be completed and reviewed by the Department of Transportation. The site plan will be required to include a sidewalk along the frontage of US 17, and they will also have sidewalk throughout the development connecting the buildings and the recreational and shared areas. From a utility standpoint, the applicant has provided us a release from the Pender County Utilities Department for water. so the town would be providing the water. The applicant is aware that the town of Surf City cannot provide sewer service at this time. If the project receives approval for the rezoning request, the applicant will complete the TRC process and provide the final plans to the town. Once the town council has approved the final site plan, the project will be placed on the town sewer capacity wait list. The applicant will work with NCDEQ for all required state environmental permits such as state stormwater and sediment and erosion control. If approved, again, the final engineer plans will be submitted to the town. So this is a pretty good bubble plan, pretty accurate, but the final engineering will be done once if the rezoning request is approved. The comprehensive land use plan, as y'all all know, was recently updated. This area is located in what is now called the regional mixed use area of the future land use map. The complete list of desired uses is found in your packet, but it does include multifamily when part of a mixed use development. By maintaining the commercial component, the use is appropriate in the future land use plan. The Planning Board heard this item at the November 16th, 2023 meeting and recommended approval of the conditional rezoning. As a part of the conditional rezoning, the applicant is tasked with holding a public meeting, and the applicant held a public meeting in December and submitted the results of that meeting, and they are in your packet as well. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Is there two different entrances off of 17, one for the commercial and one for the residential, or is it just one?
The way that it is proposed on the site, there are two. There's one in the commercial section and one in the residential section. However, those final driveway locations will be determined by the North Carolina Department of Transportation.
And that doesn't count as the two required entrances and exits. They still have to have the one off of the easement as well.
For like the fire, so they would. Because you would be able to go in through the commercial and access through the back. They could count as the two. They're proposing 3 accesses, the one off of NC 210 and then the 2 off of 17. But if the one at 17 was blocked, you could cut through the commercial and come around, so it would meet that requirement.
Anyone else have any questions for Amy at this time?
One more, sorry. The requirement that we set is 48 foot, and then they were requesting 55, but that's been amended.
It's really a holdover that it's just, at this point, it's almost like it's a typo on the plans. We have had multiple discussions about it, but it is on the plan, so I want you to know that we are aware of it, and we are staying within our 48-foot limit.
Okay.
It just needs to be corrected on the plans.
I know Mr. Frank's going to speak or would like to, but you agree with the typo and the need for the plan correction?
Yes, sir. We're agreeable to a 48-foot height limit condition.
2 entrances off of 17. There's no back entrance of the side road of 210. 2 entrances off of 17, but no back entrance off the side road?
There's a proposed access. I'm going to walk over to the plan and try to speak loud enough that everybody can hear me at home. Hopefully that'll work, but I'm not very loud. So they are proposing this access through here, which is an easement, and will come out right there. So right across from Olo Hallway, where the dentist office is. So they are proposing an access here, as well as an access here, and an access here. And again, those will all be determined for final layout with the Department of Transportation's review of the traffic impact analysis that they have submitted.
So at this point, there's just 2 accesses off of 17. The other one's proposed, but it's not
Correct.
definite.
There's 2 accesses proposed off of 17. We as the town would definitely not request additional accesses. We want to limit the points of conflict along a major route like US 17.
So that would be the only access for police and fire?
Police and fire would be able to access off of 210 through this. This would have to be built to standard so that they could get in. It's not like it's
That's my question. Is that
it's not going to remain the dirt path.
right? It's going to become a road.
Correct. So you would have that access, and then you would have. They're requesting a modification to the median. So if, say, this person was blocked, then you would be able to come in and make that left in. It's not like if it's not like if the northbound lane was blocked, you no longer have any access. You would still be able to come around and make that crossover directly into there.
That's for day-to-day traffic. I'm posing a question for emergency traffic,
Emergency services would be able to make those movements.
those two, and as well as the proposed access.
Yes, sir.
And are the ones on 17, are those two-way in and out across?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so it's
They
just
would-
for them to be able to head southbound and turn left to get in, so they wouldn't have to do a U-turn at the main intersection.
One of them out of rule would be a right-in, right-out only.
Okay.
I do not see that NCDOT would allow for two full access on US 17. So one could potentially have a left-in, it would have potentially have a left-in access. You may have to go and do your U-turn to come down, but it would potentially have the left-in and they're right in, right out.
Anyone else have any questions for Amy at this time? Amy, if you'll just be on standby and we'll call upon Mr. Sam Frank to present.
Madam Mayor, I spoke with the clerk. She may have given you different information earlier, but I think we need to go ahead and open the public hearing now.
Okay. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing for the rezoning of Evolve?
I'll make a motion to open public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Public hearing is now open. If you would please state your name and your address.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro-Tem, members of the council. My name is Sam Frank. My address is on record, and I represent the applicant. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you briefly about this evening. In addition to me being here and interested to answer your questions, I also have a representative of the applicant, Hunter Young, here, and our land planner, Brad Schuler, is here as well. If there's anything that you think better suited to be answered by the developer or by the land planning expert, I won't be offended at all. Please tell us, and we'll bring that person to the podium. This is a proposed downzoning. It decreases the intensity of use. It affords an opportunity for mixed use within the town limits of Surf City with direct access to Highway 17. It fits very well within the comp plan and future land use plan, as Ms. Kimes effectively described. The nature of the mixed use includes multifamily residential and to be determined commercial use in the commercial component. To be determined commercial use is significantly tailored. The number of uses permitted there will be far fewer than the number of uses that are permitted by right today. What we did was design that tailored list to be more amenity-oriented commercial uses, retail, restaurant, and the like, and to get away from light industrial uses and some of the more intense commercial uses that are permitted today. Multifamily residential is a type of residential housing that's not readily available in the town limits today, and this will provide thereby provide a greater diversity of housing options in connection with the zoning approval. Here's the list of uses, which I know is in your packet, but this is the list that's also included on the site plan of uses that would be permitted in that commercial sector, that 3.4 acre commercial component of the mixed use. Much of the zoning surrounding the property is actually Pender County. As you can see from the map, there's a little bit of town of Surf City land that abuts the subject site. All of those are C3, as is the subject site today. And as Ms. Kimes explained, the pattern that we're proposing here for sort of a transition of use from commercial adjacent to the commercial load into a higher density multifamily residential that then transitions into the existing single family residential is not only healthy and good planning, but also consistent with what you see immediately to the east. As I probably don't need to tell any of you, you've seen significant population growth over the last 10 to 15 years. This is a desirable place to be, a desirable place to live, and a desirable place to work. No great surprise that people are finding it and want to live here. Again, this development will provide an additional alternative for housing as well as an increase to the housing stock with a nominal impact on existing infrastructure. As Amy mentioned, the traffic impact is actually a decrease over what would be permitted by right. Because C3 is allows for such an intense level of commercial use, the kind of shopping center, big box retail type use, the traffic anticipated from that site as it's zoned today is relatively substantial. And what we propose here would be less, meaningfully less, to the tune of 100 trips, more than 100 trips per peak hour in the morning, and over 450 trips less per peak hour in the afternoon. At the planning board discussion, some of the planning board members were curious about comparable projects. So for the sake of demonstrating level of fit and finish, the type of quality and the type of product that this developer delivers, I'm sharing images with you from another similar multifamily development, mixed-use development in Surf City, prepared by this same developer. This is not the specific architectural concept for this proposed development. We haven't gotten that far yet, but this developer has put together more than one project, and the level of fit and finish that you see represented here is consistent with their business and their line of work. So as described, this is a proposal that is very well consistent with your future land use map. We think it'll be a real asset to the town of Surf City for the reasons described. And for those reasons, we ask you to support the proposed rezoning this evening. With your permission, I'd respectfully request the opportunity to speak with you again if there are any comments from the public so that I might respond to the same. And of course, what we're most interested in is to answer any questions that you may have of us.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak during this public hearing concerning the rezoning? Please come up and state your name and address.
Jesse Zimmer, 4054 4th Street. I just have a question on the sewer capacity. So how far away would that project be to be developed and finished? Do you have an idea?
So let me respond to the concept of sewer capacity and also answer your question. At this point, it's conceptual, it's entitlement. We still have a lot of work to do to design. And so very best case scenario, I think you're talking about delivery of vertical product in 2.5 to 3 years. Okay. With regard to sewer capacity, we recognize that that's our risk, that today the town doesn't have sewer capacity to offer. We're optimistic that you will by the time we need it, but we also recognize that we can't put a shovel in the ground and start building until that is resolved. Zoning approval does not increase any liability for the town to provide what it doesn't have to provide. It's just our risk to have to wait until it's available if that's how that sorts out.
Yep, no, understand. I think it's a perfect project. I'm just curious. And is that already annexed into town of Surf City?
Yes, sir. This land is in tax-paying landowner and citizen part of the town of Surf City.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, that's just my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak during this public hearing?
Whenever you're ready.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. I have a question for you real quick. Well, first, let's start off. I'm good with this. Okay, so I've got a quick question though. Why not do commercial along the entire front? Why break that up is my curious, because 17 is really a commercial-based strip through there, and that someday I think we can all forecast that will be mostly commercial out there, if not all commercial. So why have part commercial, and then why would you have part residential? Why would you? I mean, I like your concept, but why wouldn't you do the commercial across the front? Well, I'm just curious.
So let me answer in the big picture, and then invite our land planner to answer in more detail, if that'd be all right.
Whatever. Yeah, it's just a question. Yeah. So
as is the case with any proposed development, our goal is to provide what we believe the community needs the most, which equals what the market is most in demand for. And we believe that this ratio of commercial space to multifamily residential is exactly what the community would absorb, and therefore what the community needs the most. In terms of specifically why we chose to orient the commercial where it is and why we chose not to make it longer and skinnier along the Route 17 road front, I'd like to invite Brad Schuler to speak to the land design a little bit.
Thank you. My name's Brad Schuler. I'm a planner with Paramount Engineering. Really what we were trying to accomplish with this one was to provide some additional green space within the multifamily component, provide some spacing between the buildings, also provide for the parking that is needed to serve that area. So really when you were laying it out, if whatever was left in the front was really too narrow to support a commercial development, and we also thought putting the commercial closer to the intersection where there is existing commercial made a lot more sense, and keeping the residential towards the back to where it transitions into the county residential zoning would add to that transitional layout.
I mean, and once again, I think your concept's great. I just, what puzzles me is I don't want to see homes on 17, you know, and what I want to do is I want to see more business. I mean, your concept's great. I know you're putting business out there, but I would like to see moving in the future, see those homes behind things, you know, and like Evolve is now. It's stuck back behind that plaza, behind Lowe's, behind that process. So
this does allow us an entrance for the multifamily that doesn't have to go through the commercial to get to it, but it also allows us to preserve without impact the wetlands in the back. Which is an important feature of the land, not only for the sake of the wetlands, but beyond that wetlands is the existing single-family residential. And so we really appreciate having that meaningful buffer between this more dense residential use and the neighboring less dense residential. Now these sites, these 3 lots, are also in the town of Surf City, and they are also Zone C3. And so today, one could not build a residential home on one of those lots. Now I understand zoning is dynamic and that could change sometime in the future. But as Brad described, we kept that frontage as narrow as possible while still maintaining a primary access for the residential without going through the commercial and while still preserving the wetlands.
What kind of footage do you say is between that, for that corner property that you do not have, all the way to your commercial there? How much road frontage is that? Roughly.
I would.
You see the corner? You see the corner I'm talking about there? Yeah, maybe you could use your finger. Sorry, this corner there. Yes, across to there. What is that? How much frontage is that?
That would, if I had to guesstimate, probably around 500 feet or so.
Okay, yeah, and I think you could see is let's say I'm just going to say Target, or just say Outback Steakhouse, Chili's, House. Okay, department store. You get what I'm saying? Restaurant. Do you see what I'm saying? I think that's what I'm asking. Is that what? Have you kept that in mind in that process? That could be the situation there.
We'll do a landscape buffer, so it's not like you'll be seeing just roofs when you come in there and have a nice entryway into the property.
Okay.
And sort of cycle back to my original answer to the question, if we believed that there was a strong demand or even a demand for that out parcel in that location, we would have designed to it. We believe that we're doing the best we can to respond to market needs.
Or is the residential primarily for lease, or will they be for sale?
So zoning doesn't dictate one way or the other whether the land is leased or the land is owned. The business model and the intent today is that those multifamily homes will be offered for rent.
And then is the current easement for the side street, have you already procured that, or is that?
The easement is in place.
Okay. And if you're on hold for sewer, what do you deem necessary for sewer capacity for this? Like, what would be your estimate at what you would need in order to be able to function?
Tim Scales is our engineer with Paramount Engineering. Forgive me for not introducing him at the outset. He's going to work on his calculator and then give you an answer.
David Price is here also. He may be able to help us with that answer.
Lifeline?
Terminator.
$264, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is Tim Clinkscales, a registered engineer for Paramount Engineering. We need about, for the whole project, outside the commercial, just the multifamily, 95,000 gallons.
Well, and then where are we at wait list wise for current projects on the wait list? What kind of timeline would we be at if you had to guess? I guess there's not a good answer.
This August, we'll have 150,000 come online, but we have 50,000 currently on a wait list.
Okay.
So that leaves 100,000 for future development that's not currently on a wait list. The next project after that is 3 years out.
Come back forward to the podium, please, Mr. Jesse.
From what I know, then that would take up all the capacity up to 3 years for a 3-year project away. So would there be any shifting if there was a local project that could use it immediately, the sewer capacity?
David's coming.
David, be careful.
Oh, this is actually codified. Once sewer capacity is offered on the wait list, the applicant has 1 year to utilize it, to break ground. If they do not utilize it within 1 year, that capacity sunsets and goes to the next person on the list. And that is Surf City ordinance.
May I ask a clarifying question? So, just to be clear, the zoning approval this evening does not earn that allocation, correct? Could you tell us about what you do to get the allocation to get into the wait list program?
Yeah, I've got to speak to it. This is more Amy's area, but you have to go through TRC, Planning Board, and gain the council approval on near permit-ready engineer plans.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak concerning the rezoning?
Madam Mayor, I just clarify on the record with the applicant's attorney, Mr. Frank. Applicant's aware there's no present sewer capacity.
We are.
And that there's whatever administrative process on the books they're going to have to go through to get in the queue for it.
Understood.
Okay, I just wanted that to be clear in the minutes of this meeting. Thank you, Mr.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Frank. Thank you, Mayor.
Does anyone else want to speak concerning the rezoning during the public hearing? Seeing none, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion to close the public hearing. At this time, do I have a motion to move forward with rezoning the property to C3?
I make a motion that we move forward with rezoning the property to C3.
I'll second it.
Or no, it's not C3.
Wait.
What is it?
It's already C3.
It's already C3.
From C3.
Yeah.
It'd be a motion to rezone the property as requested.
Yes.
Or as applied for us.
Motion to rezone the property as requested.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. At this time, we'll move forward to new business, and I'm going to call on our Facilities and Grounds Director, Chris Carter, to come up and present our spring paving project.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council.
Tonight, I am here, I'm asking for the approval of funds be transferred from the PAL bill reserve and put into the streets maintenance budget for the DOT paving project in 2024.
I make a motion, we accept that.
I'll second it.
All those in favor of moving the budget to the spring paving project, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries to move the spring paving project forward.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
This is why people don't like lawyers, including me. It's actually approving a budget amendment, as just so the minutes reflect that. Right, Kyle? I mean, that's a budget amendment, correct? Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Next item is the interlocal utilities agreement. I'm going to call on the Utilities Director, David Price, to come up and present.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Again, in your pack is a draft agreement that surrenders the rights to serve sewer in a predetermined area within Pinto County, pretty much from Virginia Creek, where Dogwood Lakes is, all the way to the Onslow County line. Currently, Pinto County has had the right to serve water and sewer in that area since 1998. Now, currently, they do not have a sewer system in the area, but they still have the right to. And that has interfered with our plans to expand, because when we seek large permits to expand, not only do we have to show the method in which we're doing it, but the need to do it. And the argument that we have been having with DEQ is, do we really need to if we're encroaching into someone else's area? So what this agreement does is, for a period of 99 years, it turns over that predetermined area to Surf City as our area to serve. If you have any questions about it, staff, town manager's been working on this for a while. Now this is sewer only. Right now it's only sewer only. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them, and I recommend approval.
Anyone have any questions for David? No. Can I have a motion to approve the interlocal utilities agreement?
I'll make a motion that we approve the
I'll second it.
local utilities agreement.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries to approve the utilities agreement.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is the item number 3 that we added to the agenda at the beginning of the meeting, and it is a resolution opposing the insurance rate increase. And I'm going to call upon the town manager, Kyle Brewer, to present.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and council members. Again, appreciate the opportunity to present this, and appreciate the grace of the board to take this up as a special item to be added to the agenda. But timing-wise on this, on January 3rd, 2024, the North Carolina Rate Bureau filed a rate filing with the North Carolina Department of Insurance requesting an increase in homeowners' insurance rates across the state. The requested increase represents a 42.2% increase in homeowners' insurance rates statewide and a 99.4% increase in homeowners' insurance rates in the beach areas of Surf City, and a 71.4% increase in homeowners' insurance rates in other areas of Surf City. The attached resolution expresses the Town Council's strident opposition to the North Carolina Rate Bureau's requested increase in homeowners' insurance rates, based upon the view that the requested increase is inequitable, disproportionate, and unjustified, and likely will harm Surf City, its residents, tourism industry, the welfare and prosperity of the town's residents and property owners, and economic development efforts. The resolution directs the town clerk to transmit a certified copy of the resolution to the North Carolina Department of Insurance. With my presentation, Madam Mayor, I'd also like to note that there are efforts in which the town can undertake, such as this, a formal written response in regards to the application filing. But also, I sit here and urge all residents within this meeting and who may be listening online to take action on your own behalf. This is an opportunity for you to submit written comments, attend meetings and hearings in which the Department of Insurance is required to hold. Looking back in the records, 2019 was the last time this town took a stance on a prior insurance rate increase request. The Department of Insurance Commissioner denied the request. However, it still went into negotiation, but those rates, I believe off the top of my head, were increased like 12%. So you're looking at a very drastic number for homeowners insurance rates, again, from 74% to 94%. So it is drastic, and wanted to get this in front of you for that resolution adoption. Let's see, I have the resolution in front of me. 1 second, and I will pull the information. But regardless, what we will do following this is provide information back to our public so that they can take those actions on their own. Written comments are due February 2nd, addressed to Raleigh and specifically to Kimberly Pierce, who is a paralegal with the state. Email concerns to ncdoi.2024 homeowners@ncdoi.gov. It's a lot to take in here, but we will get that out on our website and social media platforms so you have that opportunity to take action on your own behalf, and please pass the word to your neighbors. So with that, Madam Mayor, that is the resolution that is before you. And again, I appreciate council taking this on.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions concerning the resolution that Cal has presented? Do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
I'll make a motion, we approve the resolution.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries to move forward with the resolution opposing the rate increase. And we urge every one of you sitting here and tell your friends and your neighbors to do the same. Moving forward, the manager's report, and I'll call on Cal Brewer to present that again.
My pleasure, as always, to provide a brief update to council and members of the public. I'll start with our federal project. Since the mayor's testimony was given in DC last month, which I will know was extremely effective, the town was made aware that the necessary funding had been released to allow the Wilmington District to proceed with completion of the general revaluation report. Contractual documents for the agreement were submitted back to the Corps, and we will be executing additional forms to keep everything moving forward. I did check this afternoon. Easement obtainment is up to 89%, so that number continues to go up through voluntary efforts, but I will say persistent efforts from staff communicating with our oceanfront property owners. So we feel that number is good, and we have not had to get the attorney involved in these, so we'll keep that up. And really, it's a lot of education going back to our oceanfront property owners, and a lot of times they're absentee or second homeowners. So staff is able to give that information, and they then in turn will sign those easements. Our South Shore Stormwater Project is sort of in a lull right now. DOT has completed their portion of the project. We are awaiting the shop drawing approvals on some of the project components, and then an updated construction schedule from the contractor. Once this has been received, the town will communicate that schedule back to our residents as it affects just day-to-day travel as well as adjacent property owners. So we will, again, as a reminder, we do have a website dedicated to this project, and we've been sending individual mailers to adjacent property owners so they get that information direct, but we will make sure that gets updated. The Recruitment and Retention Committee, this is a longer project and a big project, but an employee survey has been developed that will be sent to all full-time and part-time employees to help understand retention priorities. Following the results from the survey, the Recruitment and Retention Plan will go into the final draft and sent back out to the committee for review. We anticipate bringing that plan back to council in the next couple of months, which will outline objectives and action items to increase not just employee retention, but recruitment efforts, the hiring efficiency process, and then again, retention. To no one's surprise, recruiting and keeping employees in local government becomes more and more difficult from every department within the town. Let's see, the zoning and subdivision ordinance update, that continues to move along. Ms. Kimes held a meeting with her steering committee or planning board to go over the process and with providing opportunities to the planning board to provide comment on the draft chapters of the ordinance. As a reminder, the technical standards manual will be developed after the larger zoning ordinance, zoning and subdivision ordinance project is completed. So those projects continue to progress. I was able to execute a contract with the sign company for the new mainland bridge location for the Welcome To sign. So we'll work with the sign company for the installation of that very soon. That sign will be very consistent with the monument sign that's in front of Town Hall with the halo lit LED lighting. So I think everybody will hopefully enjoy that. And then what we did built into that design was a separate pillar as a standalone to that monument sign so that we can professional appearance hang special event signs as they come to the town, whether that's town special event or a town-sponsored event that comes through that process. So we'll look forward to that. Just this morning, Mayor Batts, you had the opportunity to swear in 3 new police officers this morning. I think Chief is probably still smiling back there. But really what I wanted to highlight is that, all 3 of these were part of our introductory cadet program. And this was just another tool in which we had to deploy in order to try and fill these open positions within our police department. A lot of this recruitment and retention started from the law enforcement side as they saw these issues nationwide. But I told Chief, you can't keep this in the police department. We have to spread the wealth there. But regardless, one of their initiatives with the cadet program allowed the town to sort of enter into some contracts with fine young men and women to go through the basic law enforcement training program while being a part-time employee with the town, getting exposure in the police department as a cadet as they were going through the schooling, and then successfully completing those courses and being sworn in to be new officers with the town of Surf City. So we were able to swear our first 3 in this morning, and we will have another officer sworn in very, very soon once the paperwork comes back from the state. So that's a commitment on the town's behalf to make that effort to basically hire somebody as a part-time employee when they're going to school. So very proud of that, and Chief and Captain back there too is a big part of this. I appreciate you for that work. Let's see, happy anniversary, Surf City. So we are celebrating our 75th anniversary this year. Plans are being discussed to celebrate the town's anniversary. Banners have been hung on light poles throughout the town. There will be an event held at the Welcome Center on March 23rd, which will include an interactive walkthrough display highlighting the town's history. We anticipate having activities and entertainment related to the history of the town on that day as well. We encourage anyone who may have pictures, stories, or artifacts related to the history of Surf City to contact our special events coordinator or just call the town. We'll get you in contact with the correct person. But look for more information about the event. We're really excited about this and working with some of our partners at the Onslow County Museum and the Missiles and More Museum to bring a really attractive and professional celebration back to the residents of the town. So if you do have some of those pictures and want to get them to us, we'll be happy to incorporate that into our history as we celebrate 75 years. Lastly, just as a reminder, we're gearing up for our council retreat February 7th and 8th to go over existing priorities, programs, our current budget, all in preparation for new goal setting and to help set the foundation for the upcoming fiscal year 25 budget. So I know that's on your calendars, but just wanted to remind everybody of the upcoming retreat. And with that, Madam Mayor, I'll turn that back over.
All right, we'll move forward to a town attorney report. Brian Eads, I'm sure he has a lot to tell us.
No report, man. Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.
Okay, well, we'll start with council forum then. We'll start with Miss Trudy.
Thank you. I'm enjoying this new opportunity. It's a new year. I appreciate all the efforts that are put into so many of our events and our planning and all. Looking forward to the retreat. It's going to be a good opportunity to have 2 solid days with this group of people and work for the town and make good decisions for everybody's benefit.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, again, I always say this, I'm very excited to see so many people out. There's a lot of things you could be doing on a Wednesday afternoon. You chose to be here with us. We appreciate that. I'm hoping everyone had as great a Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's as I did. I'm sure I had better than I deserved. I hope you had a great one. And I'm also very excited that we didn't get beat up by those 2 tornado warnings that came through that kind of spooked me around my house last night. But thank you again. I'm very excited for the new year. I hope you are.
I don't have anything. I do have to say something funny that Hugh did say. He said to Kyle and Teresa, we were talking, it's like a retreat. Are we golfing? We said, no, we're sitting in a boardroom for today's. He's like, ay. So anyway, but.
What I said was we got to change it to something else other than a retreat.
That's right. He said we got to.
Boardroom for 8 hours a day is not a retreat.
Wrong description, yeah.
Mr. John?
Well, just thanks for everybody for coming. I hope everybody had a good Christmas, and I hope we all have a great, healthy New Year. That's about it. Thank you.
I really enjoyed being at the swearing-in ceremony today. It was nice to see young faces that are here for the betterment of our community, and I'm excited to see them out and about. And they got to meet my son, who's 10, and I told him if he gets in trouble, they're going to be the ones that rat him out. And I want to thank the town. I know they did a post last night or yesterday afternoon about the difference in tornado watches and warnings and all of that stuff, and I didn't know that. So when we actually got a tornado warning, we threw a mattress in the bathroom and got underneath it because that's what you're actually supposed to do. So I was thankful to have that bit of information come through and share that as well. So I appreciate all that you guys did yesterday to keep us safe. Thanks.
Thank you. So we are working more so than ever on being transparent and we're just trying to get the information out to everyone. Over the last year, there have been several accomplishments that our town staff and Kyle and Carla, along with our town manager and this council has worked on diligently. I'm just going to go over a few of those with you. The beach management plan, the town was awarded $30,000 to develop a beach management plan in accordance to move forward that is coordinated with the Army Corps of Engineers Coastal Storm Risk Management Plan. We also have a CAMA Access grant funds. Funding was secured through the Division of the Coastal Management to install handicap parking, access to restroom facilities, and installations of the town's first beach mats at the existing Hatteras ramp, which is down near the Nelva Alberry Park. The mural, the town's beautification enhancement committee unveiled its first public mural at the site of the Allen Water Tower. The local artist Dave Mercer completed the project, which is a welcoming sight to all the residents and visitors. The Phase 3 of the RCCP, which is the town continue with a resilient coastal communities program to develop permit-ready designs for several roadside stormwater projects. The total amount was $135,000. We also assisted in a local assistant for stormwater infrastructure investment, which is also called the Lassie funds. The town's utility department was able to secure $400,000 to develop a town-wide stormwater plan. Thank you, David Price. The larger focus on the stormwater and overall resilience of our coastal town continues to be a priority. The South Shore Stormwater Project. This work began this year on South Shore Stormwater Project. The infiltration chambers are being installed at 2 separate locations to combat the roadway flooding that was always very present when we have heavy rainfalls, such as last night. The Earl and Inez Batts Recreational Complex, the final designs were completed for the long-awaited skate park and other elements of Phase 1 of the new regional park. A contract has been issued, and we will begin site clearing and grading, making a way for another wonderful park in Surf City. A community fishing park was also put in over off of J.H. Batts Road through the partnership with NC Wildlife Resource Commission. The town's Park Recreation and Tourism Department was able to install 2 inclusive fishing piers at the community center and have both the ponds stocked. The East Coast Greenway feasibility study. The town completed the East Coast Greenway feasibility study in 2023, clearing the path to bring an enhanced bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure from the beach to Highway 17 and in areas in between. This $15 million project will be completed in phases over several years. The comprehensive plan and ordinance update. The town adopted a new comprehensive plan in 2023 that sets the vision over the next 20 to 30 years. The policies within the plan were developed and based on tremendous public feedback received during the plan's development process. The Community Development Department is now working on updating the town's development ordinances to reflect on that vision. There's a couple more pages, so I'm just like gonna skip through them because I'm just like, you had state legislative needs that were a huge success. State budget appropriations, which was $24.2 million. The water tank rehab on the island, advanced meter infrastructure, subsurface irrigation projects. It's called a SCADA project that David Price is in the utility that was updated. Water service in canals, we're working with OMWASA with providing them water and better pressure. Overall water accountability, special events, Surf City Kids recruitment on academies, the Ocean Rescue Program, and of course the Police Department Cadet Program that Cal spoke about a while ago. These are all items that we are very proud of, and like we are trying to make sure that we get all this information out to you. Another person that is making that possible is Kelly. If you haven't met Kelly, she is our new specialist in getting all that information out to you. I think she's doing a very good job, and if you see anything that we can or should improve on, we are welcome to hear those at any time. So we thank you again for being here. Anyone else have anything for the betterment of this group?
I would like that document she has to be put out. It's fantastic. She needs to put that out. You can do that, please.
Yep, Kelly.
Kelly, if you can do it.
Kelly can do that.
It is a fantastic document. She needs to get out. That's for sure.
So do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Or a second?
I second.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.